Romulus that have a drive and that don't want to quit. So we're just really proud. And with that, if I could bring up the coaches of the freshman team, and then we'll bring up our champions and we'll do something really nice with them as well. Okay, come on up.
I was here a couple years ago as freshman champions. We fell just a little short, but I had a team. We started 0-2, then we went on a 6-game winning streak and won the playoff game, and just fell short in the championship game. Had a team that just filled with character, heart, and determination, and they weren't going to give up, and they gave it everything they got this year, and we couldn't be more prouder. Parents were great in support with us. Along with our JV squad. After our defeat to River Rouge, the boys were sitting there, and my lady player crying away, and the JV team stopped their warm-up, came around us, surrounded us, and just showed the love and support and had our back, and just being a family that we are in the whole organization. So we thank you again for having us out and honoring the freshman players for a great season. We appreciate it.
The trick's to give them out and not get them tangled. John, that's a challenge, let me tell you. We've been through that before.
Right.
Freshman, come on up.
All tangled. The mayor's gonna try to help. Sense. Pretty cool.
Coaches get one too many cheerleaders. We have cheering on their team. Okay, no problem.
This may not be too big because I don't think that they come in from the library.
Yeah, sure.
I'll follow whatever. I'm not elected.
You young men in front. Perfect.
I'm not quite as talkative as the freshman coach. But you know, that's a lot of things, same things that he said about the character of the team. We started out really, really well, had a really bad game, then had some injuries, and in that game, the following game, we played a team that was really, really good, and the kids that stepped up to replace some of our better players that were injured did a really good job. Went on into the playoff against that very same team that we thought we were going to struggle with, and we put them in their place. And then in the championship game, the team that beat us, we got a chance to really put them in their place. We beat them to win the championship, which is kind of, you know, get that revenge factor and the fact that we overcame the adversity of the first game and showed them that we were the better team. And the reality is the team, players, plus parents, plus coaches, they all got to be in sync. We were all in sync in 2019, and we ended up with the championship team. So I'm really proud of my guys, really proud of the whole organization. Go Flyers.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman, City Council, for allowing us to do that. And I think it's great to recognize the success that we've had and a good group of teammates there, and good to hear the story from the coaches as well. We do have a real short video that we want to run as well, so we'll run that and get into my action items tonight.
Hi everyone, I'm Jasmine Dancy. First up, we have a couple of announcements from the Recreation Department.
Hi everyone, I'm Tanya Cofield from Recreation. I hope you all will come out to our annual Christmas tree.
What's that saying? Enough said? Yeah, we've had some interesting power. Generator was running, so obviously.
Well, it doesn't work.
Tell you what, for folks at home and here, check Facebook. We'll show the good news clip as well too. So a lot of good things are happening. We want you to be in tune with the events that are coming up. Mr. Chairman, with that, I'll move on to my action items for tonight. We have a few. What you have before you is item A, and this is a request to concur the administration approve the reappointment of Reverend James Bowen with a term to expire December 31st of 2023, and that will be to the Downtown Development Authority.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for the DDA board reappointment of James Bowen. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved.
Thank you, Council. The next item is a recommendation from Kevin Kraus, our Director of Fire Service and Emergency Management, and Kathy Hood, Assistant DPW, and Gary Harris, Purchasing Director. And what you have before you is a request to concur the administration and a consent piggyback on the M-Deal contract with a contract number listed. It's with Gorno Ford to purchase one 2018 Ford F-150 Lariat pickup package. The amount's $43,665, including the extended warranty options, and that was a demo vehicle, and that was verified and budgeted available out of the motor vehicle capital outlay.
Through the chair, if I may?
Yes, Ms. Webb.
I'll make that motion to concur with administration and also consent.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Abdo for the M-Deal contract. Any discussion?
Through the chair, if I may?
Yes, Ms.
I would
Webb.
like to say for the price that we're getting, and it also includes everything, the lights, the siren, everything. We don't have to ship it back out to have it done. We don't need an extra charge. So, thank you very much, Chief.
It's a great point, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you, Council. Next is a request per the action of the Library Board. The attached is to concur with the Library Board and introduce Budget Amendment 19/20-10. That's to amend salary budget line items and to recognize additional penal fines and revenue equal to the pay increase for all applicable benefits for Director and Assistant Director, and the amounts were attached.
Through the chair?
Yes, Ms. Webb.
Are there any library? Is she here this evening? I don't see her. Only one of the board members?
We have Jim Napierkowski from the board, but I don't see,
I don't see.
I'm the other board member also, Mr. Wadsworth.
Well, I was expecting the person who was looking for this to be present this evening.
Ms. Webb, if I may, I'm the current president of the library board, and we had taken this action based on some increased revenue that was unexpected, and we felt that the pay for the director and the assistant director was deserved, and that's what we decided to use it on.
Okay, and I appreciate that, but I don't know what my colleagues may say, but I truly, truly respect what the librarian does as well as her assistant. Very hard workers, but to bring it to the city council, this needs to be either tabled or brought back during budget time. We don't normally issue out any type of salaries nor bonuses in the middle of a budget time.
Well, originally, we had intended to submit this as a bonus, which some department heads with the city have received bonuses. And we didn't feel there was anything wrong, but we were then informed that it's not in keeping with the city charter, because it should have been planned at the beginning of the budget.
That is
Well,
correct.
At that point, we don't know if we're getting extra funds. That's why we decided we did not give a raise at the time, but now that we've seen we've received increased revenues, we decided to use it for that particular purpose.
And I have no problem with you using it during budget time, but I'd like to make a motion that you all bring it back at budget time, and I'll be more than happy to vote for it, if I can get support on that.
Support.
Okay, it's been motioned by Mrs. Webb, supported by Ms. Abdo, to table this and be brought back at budget time. Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved.
Thank you, City Council. Next is item D. This is also an introduction of a budget amendment. What you have before you is a request to concur with the administration and introduce Budget Amendment 19/20-11. That's to pay for final construction costs for the Goddard Road streetscape and those were a result of the audit process that'll finalize that project out.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, for introduction of budget amendment 19/20-11.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Webb. Introduction of budget amendment 19/20-11. Any discussion? Ms. Williams?
Yes, to the mayor, is this the part of Goddard Road where the parking lots in front of the different businesses?
It was a complete project, and I don't know if, Roberto, you can speak to that as far as if there was one section of this, or was it the whole street? Roberto Scapitici, DPW.
Good evening, council. Yeah, the limits of this project were from Romaine to Wayne Road and Goddard, so it was the original streetscape project of Goddard Road.
Okay. So the city wasn't aware that the state that they had to reimburse the state this amount?
No, I mean, with these types of projects, so this is a local agency project, so MDOT pays the contractor, they bill us, the state progress bills us, and then we in turn reimburse some of the costs back to the state. So it's kind of like a three-party agreement between the city, the state, and actually the contractor. And what had happened is occasionally they audit projects. You know, they have a lot of projects, they don't audit all of them, but sometimes when projects have a lot of force account and reimbursements going on, they decide to audit them. You know, obviously this project was 4 years ago. The boat kind of, you know, goes through the water a little slow with the state. You know, they're 4 years later, they're auditing the project. And they found out that they actually reimbursed us $100,000 too much of what was city, you know, responsibility.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mayor.
Next, the agenda is clerk's report number 6. For 6A, second reading, final adoption of amendment to Code of Ordinances, Chapter 62, Article 2, and Section 62, to add Division 4A, illicit discharge and stormwater control. A motion is in order.
I'll make that motion for the illicit discharge and stormwater control amendment.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Webb, for illicit discharge and stormwater control. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
For clerk's report B, second reading, final adoption of a zoning amendment for RZ 2019-003 for global truck repair to rezone 10.10 acres of property. That's Ecorse Road, parcel ID number 80-00-02-015-000 from M1 Light Industrial to MT Industrial Transportation.
Oh, this is the one that we had yesterday.
Any motion? We have a motion.
Oh, through the chair, if I may.
Okay.
Make a motion for second reading and final adoption in the zoning amendment for RZ-2019-003, global truck repair.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Abdo, for the parcel ID 80-004-02-0815-000. Ms. Webb?
Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Barton?
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
I'll go through Mayor, this is the gentleman that was here last
And
meeting?
this is what we talked about, that just does the rezoning
Okay,
of the
fine.
parcel,
I just want to make
correct?
sure I'm voting on the right one. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
No.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Yes, motion approved.
Item C, first reading, introduction of an amendment to Code of Ordinances, Chapter 38, Parks and Recreation, Article 1, Section 38-10, Firearms and Explosives.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move for the first reading and introduction of the amendment of the Code of Ordinance of Chapter 38, the Parks and Recreation, Article 1, Section 3810, about firearms and explosives.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Williams, for first reading, introduction of amendment of Code of Ordinance, Chapter 38, Parks and Recreation, Article 1, Section 38-10, Firearms and Explosives. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
I have a discussion before we.
Okay, Ms. Abdo?
Yeah, I just wanted to know why we scratched out, it says no person except law officers or officers of the law, employees so authorized by the fire marshal or the approved law enforcement agency shall carry, and we scratched out firearms.
Yeah, that was the only amendment to it. It was an unenforceable ordinance, so we had to scratch the firework portion, or firearm portion out. Explosives will still pertain to it.
Why is it unenforceable?
Well, they can still carry, they can open carry, they can have a CPL, that legally they can do that. So it was an unenforceable ordinance as it was written, so Steve had to draft an amendment.
Mayor, I got a question.
You got a question?
I guess I go to Steve. I mean,
Under
has the
state-
law changed with
No, I don't know.
CCW
This
permits?
provision has been in there for quite a while. We just became aware, in fact, it was in there, but it's been unenforceable.
I mean, there's gun-free zones, I thought. Churches, schools, public buildings.
There's a list in both the open carry and the concealed carry of places that you cannot carry those. Parks are not one of those places, unfortunately.
Okay.
So, since the legislature has preempted that area, we can't have an ordinance that contradicts the state statute.
And I guess the state legislator is a lot more smarter than we are.
John?
Yes. Ms. Abdo?
So we can't make an ordinance tighter than what the state requires?
Not in this case, because they specifically have said that they are preempting the area of firearms regulation. So to the extent that they have covered the subject, we can't do anything about it. And both the open carry and the concealed carry statutes have a specific list of the places you cannot carry, even if you have a concealed weapons permit or you can't open carry. And unfortunately, on that, there's no place on that list is a listing of parks. So parks, you can carry both concealed weapons and open carry in a park.
I don't agree with that.
They would have to have to be concealed, they'd have to have a CPL
Yes.
legally and background check to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Stupid. Oh.
Any more discussion? Well, let's run it again. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
No.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Next on the agenda is the treasurer's report.
Good evening, council, mayor, deputy clerk, and audience. As the mayor pro tem mentioned earlier, I did provide the quarterly report ending September 30th, 2019. All required information was shared and provided according to Public Act 20 and our investment policy during the 7 o'clock session. The quarterly reports are always available, so if anyone is ever interested and would like to view it, you are more than welcome. Also, today, most, if not all, taxpayers received their winter tax bill. And if you did not, or you, for some reason, didn't get it in the mail, please give us a call at 734-942-7580. We would be happy to mail you one out. And of course, if you have any questions, please give us a call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is public comments. And this is the portion of the agenda for those in the audience who would like to address city council. The rules to address city council can be found on the back of the meeting agenda. If you you would like to address City Council, please raise your hand and, after being acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium and state your name and address. Thank you. Please note, you have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time would be upon consent of the chairperson. I have one person who requests to address City Council, and that's James Naperkowski.
Okay. Mr. Napakowski?
Good evening.
Good evening.
James Naperkowski, 38321 Castle Drive here in Romulus. I just wanted to bring something up about the yard waste pickup. I'm not sure when your current contract runs out, but we need to, I think, look at something differently as far as when they finish the year out in picking up yard waste. We had the yard waste picked up the week of Thanksgiving, and right after that, we had that big windstorm, and I've got more leaves in my yard now than I ever did all fall. And I've done several cleanups. And I know that there's several trees in our neighborhood that still are hanging on to their leaves, and it's gonna be a mess. Those leaves will end up blowing out into the street. They're gonna plug up the storm drains. When we have the winter ice and snow melt, it's gonna block up the storm drains and the streets are gonna be flooded. They refreeze, it's gonna possibly cause accidents. I think this needs to be addressed and schedule changed.
Ms. Abdo? Yes.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. My yard is full of leaves, and it has been every year, even without the snow. At the end of November is just, I think the first week of December would be a little bit more prudent for us, that we could get
So
our leaves up.
if I could speak to that, Mr. Chairman, we're currently in a contract. The contract ends end of November. We extended this 1 year, if you recall.
I did, I
At a
know.
request. It cost us significant dollars to do that. I mean, it was close to $30,000 to just extend it for, I think it was another week or two. So we can try to work that in when we work on the next contract, but we're currently in the middle of one. I don't know if they'll have any flexibility with changing things during the middle of a contract. We've held them tight on some recycling and some other initiatives because we were locked into a contract, but I would recommend that we not do that at this point, try to go back and extend and change the time. We can look at it for future to see if they'll give us any wiggle room on that. Maybe they start it later and continue it later or something along those lines, but if we can try to handle it administratively, but I would not recommend just extending at this point. There's nothing in the budget for that right now.
I think Ms. Williams, then Mr. Wadsworth.
Mayor, what would you suggest, because we're having the same problem in our subdivision. Most of the trees still have leaves on there, even with the strong wind, it's still full of leaves. So what would, is it a location where we can bag them up and take them?
No, there's, right now, that was the service that they provided that was written into the contract. I can talk to them about trying to stagger the time. Like I said, maybe start it later and start later in the season and continue it later. As far as, this is kind of unusual season. We also had snow sooner that came on top of the leaves, so I understand that, but, I'm just telling you that it's a significant cost to do that. And there's right now nothing budgeted for in that part of the budget for.
So even a homeowner there's no location where the actual homeowner can take them and drop them off?
We can look at what options there might be. There might be some people that want to take them to mulch them or some other options like that. I don't know that they would be free services, but we can research that and provide that information.
Okay, thank you.
No
Mr.
problem.
Wadsworth.
And I totally agree with Mr. Naberkowski, and possibly, Mayor, we could look into next year of taking 2 weeks in the beginning and put them at the end. I think his point's well taken.
And if I may make a
Maybe we can use
suggestion.
those penal fees for the
You
library.
can still go by the current schedule, but maybe like the first full week before Christmas, make one more pickup.
Okay.
Thank you.
To the chair. I have a lot of leaves, okay? I mean, everybody's leaves. I agree with you, Jim, and in regards to the leaves being problematic, but also with the mayor, we are in contract, and maybe, if possible, in negotiating the next contract, instead of picking up the leaves like every week or ever how they do it now, maybe we can just extend that to every 2 weeks, and then maybe it may take it into November, the end of November, but right now, we just can't. I mean, it's impossible. All I've done was taken my little fire thing, not a whole bunch of leaves, but a few at a time, and burned them. You know, that's all I can do. And I know the chief is covering his ears, but it's not a blaze, you know? And Mrs. Webb, be quiet.
So we'll check into future contract discussion with them. Thank you.
Ms. Williams, yes?
And I would just like to say, I noticed several have said the 1st of December. This is the 1st of December, and the leaves are still on the tree. Normally, the trees or in our subdivision and in a lot of other areas don't actually start really falling all the way off until sometime the end of December, maybe January. So moving it to the 1st of December, you know, when we get ready to start negotiating, that need to be really looked at, because that still wouldn't fix the problem to do it in the 1st of December, because this is the 1st of December. So we would, like Jim said, it would be better to go more toward negotiating toward the end of December. Thank you.
Okay, any more comments from the audience? No more comments from the audience, we close that part out.
Chair, under unfinished business, a motion is in order to remove resolution number 19-347 from the table.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Webb?
I'd like to make that motion to take from the table the motion relating to SLU 2019-002, special land use request from Miller Pipeline, located at 6911 Metroplex.
Got a second on that? Second on that motion?
Are they here?
Yeah, would you
Okay.
come up, please, Tina?
But
In
Mr.
according-
Chair,
in ac-
before we discuss anything, it has to
That's right.
have support to be removed.
Do we have a second on this?
I'll second. I'll support. Yeah, we have to in order to
Yeah,
discuss
okay,
it.
okay, it's been second. Let's go.
Good evening. Brian Hardy.
You need to take a vote on the
Ms. Vogt,
motion.
okay. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved. That's it, thank you.
No, you're not done.
No,
Yeah.
now you.
Now you
That
can
was
talk.
just so they could talk about it in this meeting, so now it's your turn.
Right.
My name's Brian Hardy. I'm General Superintendent for Miller Pipeline. I'm construction supervisor for our operations here in Southeast Michigan. And actually, my boss, Josh Sargent, he's unable to attend tonight, so I'm here to just kind of tell you what we do. We're a contractor for DTE Energy. We're a pretty integral part of their gas renewal program for Southeast Michigan. And the special land use, we're using our facility in Romulus. It's basically for warehousing and truck storage and the office space. So our trucks are stored there overnight. They go out on the job during the day. And the outside storage basically is for the pipe that we're using out on the job sites. So it's a rotating stock that changes all the time. But we have submitted the plans that show how we're using the property. We've done pretty much everything we need to do that has been requested of us, so.
And I think, Mr. Chairman, my understanding is that they did comply with the issues for their certificate and so forth, so they are in line with what the department was asking.
Okay.
Just a quick
Mr.
question.
Wadsworth?
You said that you've done just about everything. Is there something that hasn't
No,
been done?
we've done everything
Okay.
that's asked of us.
Any other?
Fine.
Yeah, Mr. Talley?
Just a couple quick questions. Who owns the property?
KS Industrial?
KS Industrial?
Okay. 'Cause I thought I saw
I think
something about
the owner's name is Ed Sherman.
Okay. How long is your lease for?
We're good until 2023, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for? None?
So would a motion be in
Yeah.
order at this time?
Can I have a motion?
All right, I'll make a motion that we grant the special land use to Miller Pipeline.
Support.
Okay, it's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for SLU 2019-002 Miller Pipeline Special Land Use Request.
All right.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved.
Next thing on the agenda is new business.
No new business.
Next, we have number 11, communication.
Yep,
Ms. Talley.
just a couple of quick things. I just want to again shout out, as I did last week, to our Community Methodist Church for helping with the sponsor, having the box set up and supporting our blessing bags for the Goodfellas. Tanya, I have bags for you, so make sure you don't leave before seeing me. I want to give a special shout out to the Emmaus team at the Methodist Church, specifically Lisa Watts and Angie Morris, who packaged up the hygiene kits for me to present them to Tanya today. So thank you to them. Also, I mentioned about the auto insurance wins we had. Just keep the prayers going that we continue to have more wins in our auto insurance. Our legislators are working very diligent on this. So, and I've gotten a couple of calls about people already seeing differences in their premium, auto insurance premiums. So you want to keep those prayers going up for our auto insurance. And then we have a great event coming up on December 14th, our Wreaths Across America, honoring our vets, laying down wreaths across all the graves of our veterans in the cemetery. December 14th, they still need a lot of some sponsorship, so please, 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 please go online to sponsor a wreath for one or more of our veterans to help to support this worthy cause. That again is on December 14th at noon at the cemetery here on Shook Road. So please remember that. And then finally, I just want to do a special shout out to the 34th District Court. Looks amazing. It's just beautiful. So I just wanted to shout out to the court for the work that's being done on the 35th District Court. It's an amazing looking building. And then as always, peace on earth, goodwill towards men as we display kindness to one another during this season and really always. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Talley. Ms. Abdo.
Thank you. I just want to remind people that this Sunday is the bowling fundraiser for the National Honor Society at Romulus High School. All proceeds will go to the Chad Tuff Foundation for pediatric cancer research. You can buy tickets at the door or contact me. Bowling starts at 4 p.m. If you do not want to bowl, you can also sponsor a student for $20. Allow them to bowl. And I want to thank all those people who came out for the Thanksgiving dinner at the Romulus House. We had a great turnout. I want to thank the Romulus National Honor Society, who waited on tables, washed dishes, took the trash out, did just about everything. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Abdo.
Mr. Chairman, just one, because we missed the video also, just reminder, tree lighting Friday, 6 o'clock, Historical Park, electeds, public, everyone, please come on out. Be a nice event. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Chair, adjournment number 12.
So moved.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Webb for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Webb.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Jasmine Dancy. First up, we have a couple of announcements from the Recreation Department.
Hi everyone, I'm Tanya Cofield from Recreation. I hope you all will come out to our annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony on Friday, December the 6th, down at the Historical Park. Concessions and holiday vendors open at 6 p.m. and the official ceremony begins at 6:30. Please help us support those in need by bringing non-perishable food donations for our Stuff the Bus to benefit Romulus Helping Hand. You can also get your picture with Santa after the ceremony for $7 each or 2 for $12. Our annual Brunch with Santa is the next day on Saturday, December the 7th, and tickets are going quick. Be sure to come purchase yours here at City Hall during regular business hours. The event will be held from 10:30 a.m. to noon at the Senior Center. You must buy tickets ahead of time, so get yours as soon as possible. And lastly, our holiday home decorating contest is back. There are 2 ways to nominate a home. Just call or visit the Recreation Department at City Hall to give us their address, or post a comment or message to our City of Romulus Facebook page. All nominations are due by Monday, December the 16th.
Next, we have events from the Romulus Public Library.
Hi, I'm Jessica Wilhoit, the Assistant Director and Youth Services Librarian at the Romulus Public Library. We have 3 dates this year for our kids' Christmas craft: December 3rd and 4th at 6 p.m. and December 5th at 10:30 a.m. Please choose one session only. At each session, we will be making our very own gingerbread houses, and supplies are provided. Wednesdays at 10:30 a.m., we have toddler story time through December 11th. In all month of December, we have our candy cane counting contest for ages 17 and under. Come and guess how many candy canes are in the jar and you could win.
Hello, I'm the Adult Services Librarian at Romulus Public Library. On Thursday, December 5th at 6 p.m., we will have the Wayne Westland Senior Chorus performing a Christmas concert. This is for all ages, including children, so come out and hear some wonderful music and enjoy some light refreshments as we bring in the holiday season. On Monday, December 9th at 7 p.m., join the Second Monday Book Club as we discuss Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore by Robin Sloan.
For our good news of the week, we wanted to commend Romulus House Restaurant on another successful pre-Thanksgiving dinner. Brothers and owners Sam and Bazem have been holding this free dinner on the night before Thanksgiving for the last 16 years, with any and all donations benefiting the Romulus Goodfellows. This year they raised $2,500. We truly appreciate Romulus House and all the volunteers for their holiday spirit. Great job to everyone. Thanks everybody. Remember to like and share us on Facebook and YouTube, or visit our website for more information. Have a great night, everybody.